Many people around us are allergic to many things. Take me for instance. I am allergic to loud noises and pseudoscience and alternate medicines. Likewise, many of you may be allergic to dust, pollen, milk, certain food and medicines, nuts, and many other substances. So what are allergies and why does the body react so strongly against certain things? This is what we will look in this episode. Are you itching to know more? See you on the other side of the intro. So what is an allergy? An allergy is essentially an inappropriate immune response to an otherwise harmless substance called as allergen, be it dust, pollen, pet fur, or anything else. It is a condition in which the immune system reacts abnormally to a foreign substance. This can result in various conditions such as itching and swelling of nose, eyes, etc., itching in skin, upset stomach, vomiting, and sometimes can cause breathlessness, and in some worse cases, the patient may die. Yes, that's right. Sometimes it is not just the nature, even your own body starts to hate you. Many of you may have heard of a condition called as hay fever, medically called as allergic rhinitis. This is when people get allergic towards pollen, which are basically the reproductive parts of plants. People who may have lived in Bangalore may have encountered this. What is funny is that hay fever does not cause fever, and this also is not caused due to hay. When a susceptible person inhales pollen along with the air, the immune system, instead of seeing it as a harmless material, identifies it as something harmful, a threat. So it triggers an immune response. The B cells of our immunity system are stimulated to make large quantities of immunoglobulin E or IgE antibodies. Note that B cells take a bit of time to be generated, so you may not encounter an immediate immune response the first time you get exposed to the allergen. Now, when these B cells do get ready, they take the arms and ammunition and travel through the body and finally latch onto some immune cells called the mast cells. Then they lay in wait like soldiers in war, waiting for an enemy movement. Now, the next time the pollen enters the body, the B cells go out on an all-out attack, throwing allergy-inducing chemicals like hand grenades. The main chemical that gets released is histamine. Histamine has the ability to make blood vessels dilate and leak. It causes inflammation and increases blood flow to that area. This causes inflammation of that part of the body. It also invokes a special kind of nerve fibers which makes us itch, called the proprioceptive neurons, and that is why we feel itchy. This is what we call as an allergic reaction. The site of the reaction depends on where the allergen has entered the body. If it is dust or pollen, then it is usually our eyes, nose, throat, or sinuses. And this causes itchy eyes, sneezing, inflammation of the sinus or sinusitis, or inflammation of the mucous membrane of the nose, also called as rhinitis. If you are allergic to a food item, for instance, the histamine wreaks havoc in your stomach and leads to stomach aches, vomiting, or diarrhea. Now, sometimes the immune response doesn't go into an wham bam and destroy the mode, but plan the attack slightly late and in a more organized manner. When it feels that just throwing grenades left, right, and center might not work, it slowly calls in reinforcements. It calls in other soldiers such as your white blood cells and neutrophils to the scene. It takes some time, and hence this attack is delayed. However, the effect is much more severe, as now there are more soldiers and they cause swelling, pain, redness, and increased mucus production. Now, this is more severe and long lasting in nature. When the immune system goes into a bomb throwing mode, the effects too subside equally fast. But when it is in an organized attack, the time that it takes for the effects to subside also increases, and your recovery time also goes up. It can sometimes take days or weeks. The battle is a long drawn one for the immune system and for you, the battlefield. So now you may be thinking, Why does some people's immune system go into such an overdrive against substances which are harmless to many? To seek the answer, we must go back to our genes. It is called as atopy. Atopy is a genetic tendency to develop allergic diseases. When atopic people are exposed to allergens, they can develop an immune reaction that leads to allergic inflammation. Now, it is not possible for us to look at someone's DNA and say, this person would have an allergy to dust or pollen or nuts. This is because there are a lot of genes involved and there are a lot of intergenetic reactions and also interactions with the environment you are in. Now, it is estimated that 50 million Americans suffer from some kind of allergy, making it a very chronic disease in that country. But the case in India may not be that worse. What could be the reason? One plausible reason, and I am stressing the word plausible because this is a statement that cannot be completely corroborated with evidence, is the hygiene hypothesis. The hygiene hypothesis states that early childhood exposure to particular microorganisms such as the gut bacteria and other parasites protects against allergic diseases by contributing to the development of the immune system. The hygiene hypothesis does not suggest that having more infections during childhood would be an overall benefit. There is also something very interesting when it comes to allergies: cross-reactivity. It is the phenomenon where different substances contain the same allergy triggering molecule or sometimes very similar molecules so that it triggers the same immune response. For example, people who are allergic to peanuts may be allergic to other things in the legume family such as soya bean, lentils or beans. Similarly, people who may be allergic to pollen may find the same kind of response when they eat certain fruits or vegetables as they contain the same protein as pollen. When they eat such a fruit, they immediately start getting a histamine reaction and turn red and itchy all of a sudden. On the positive side, cooking often changes the proteins, and so the problem is usually there when they consume these raw and does not have a problem if the same fruits or vegetables are cooked. Now, while on this, carrots, kiwis, apples, bananas and avocados have an allergen which is also found in, well, latex condoms. So if you are allergic to bananas, for instance, you may find it difficult to wear a latex condom without getting it all itchy and swollen. I know, it is the itchiness that may worry you in this case. And while on this topic, I am reminded of a real life incident that one of my friend, an English professor named Jane, told me and my friend one day about 25 years ago. He had a friend who was getting married soon, and they lived in a very conservative and orthodox village in central Kerala where virginity of women and sex only after marriage were considered as pure and good. So this guy entered his first night with all expectations, and while they were about to get into the main act, he took out a condom from the bedside table. The newly married wife, however, stopped him, saying that she was allergic to condoms.
रहा नहीं जाता तड़प ही ऐसी है ना नहीं सुके
The naive chap immediately put it aside and completed the act unadorned. The next day, he told the story to his inquisitive friends who were all open-mouthed when they heard this. The poor chap still did not get the moral of the story until a friend explained that how would she know that she was allergic to condoms if she had not had a previous experience with it? Then light dawned on him, and the tail end of the story, sadly, was that the one-day-old bride was sent packing to her home the next day. I am still unsure who was the biggest fool amongst the couple, the groom or the bride. Today, there are latex-free condoms available for people who have similar allergies. Coming back to our topic, sorry for the digression, but I seriously remembered this story from my childhood that I had to share it with you. Now, there are people who are allergic to some strange things. Tasha Coates, a UK gymnast who won 5 medals at the 2014 British Disability Gymnastics, was allergic to exercise. Now, come to think of it, I think I need to get myself tested for that allergy too. My wife keeps complaining about my reluctance to work out. Maybe I have a reason finally. Then there are people who are allergic to water. Yep, water. However, this is not about them unable to drink water. Of course, if that was the case, they wouldn't survive for long. This is mainly allergic to physical contact with water. It is called as urticaria, and when they come into contact with water, they get an itchy rash on their skin. We as yet don't know the cause, but we do know that for them, washing hands or taking a bath can really be a scratchy affair. Thankfully, modern medicine has found out about antihistamines, a class of drug that opposes the activity of histamine receptors in the body. These generic over-the-counter drugs can relieve most allergies and can be a good short-term treatment. However, if they have a chronic disease such as asthma or sinusitis, then other medicines would need to be administered. Anyways, people with physical urticaria can take a bath if they take some antihistamines before and hence can escape being a social outcast. Or think about a woman who is allergic to leather. What would she do without a handbag or leather shoes? Now, peanut allergy is very common. In fact, if you notice any food item which may contain nuts or which have been made in a factory where they do process nuts, the wrapping contains a warning saying may contain nuts. Why is this needed? There is a story behind this too. This happened on Ryanair once, and there was a 4-year-old child named Faye was traveling in the flight with her mom. Her mom had instructed the flight attendants that Faye had an allergy to peanuts, so they had made an announcement to all passengers that they should not open their packets of nuts served in their food and consume them. One person who perhaps did not understand this opened his packet. He may have thought this act would be harmless as he sat 4 aisles away from where little Faye sat. However, thanks to the air conditioning system of the aircraft, peanut particles were inhaled by Faye. She immediately had a severe immune reaction called as anaphylactic shock and would have died being unable to breathe. Luckily, they carried antihistamine injections and there was an ambulance driver amongst the passengers who administered the shot and saved her life. Anaphylactic shock, also called as anaphylaxis, is a potential fatal reaction that causes a person's airways to narrow and their blood pressure to drop strongly. As blood vessels dilate, more blood rushes into the area and it starts to leak, and the blood starts to get released into the nearby tissues. As it happens, there won't be enough blood to maintain a normal blood pressure and deliver oxygen to the brain. If this happens at the throat, then the dilation of the blood vessels causes strangulation and the patient faces difficulty in breathing. Sometimes this cuts off the oxygen supply to the lungs, and you can imagine what would happen then. Thankfully, again, all thanks to modern science, we can counter this by giving a hormone called as adrenaline, a drug which relaxes the airways and blood vessels. So how do we combat allergies? The simplest way is to avoid the allergens. Yes, just avoid it. Sounds simple but very difficult to put into practice. Take dust or pollen. It is there in the air. They may need to wear special masks or respirators and avoid going out in seasons when the pollen or dust is high. And there are a variety of medications like antihistamines that block histamine release from mast cells, reducing symptoms. Antihistamine tablets, nasal and eye sprays can also be used. Intranasal corticosteroid nasal sprays or INCS are effective for treatment of moderate to severe allergic rhinitis when used correctly. Combination therapies, which uses a combination of INCS and antihistamines, are used for treatment of moderate to severe allergic rhinitis and offer the advantages of both the medications. Adrenaline is used for first aid emergency treatment of life-threatening severe allergic reactions such as anaphylaxis. The latest treatment that is gaining popularity is allergen immunotherapy, also known as desensitization. This is a long-term treatment which changes the immune system's response to allergens. It involves the administration of regular, gradually increasing amounts of allergen extracts by injections or by other means, thereby conditioning or sensitizing the immune response. Most studies are underway, and hopefully we can one day bid goodbye to most of the itchiness and soreness caused by an unwanted product of evolution. The main criteria in a correct prognosis is an accurate diagnosis. Usually, finding that correct allergen can be complicated. Like for instance, I am sitting and talking to you on a leather chair wearing clothes which have been cleaned using various chemicals and breathing air which has thousands of pollutants, pollen, dust, and possibly even Omicron. And to top it all, I have a cat sitting next to me and one sleeping on the sofa nearby. Their hairs are literally all over my clothes and body and all around me. Suppose I start to itch now. What would I attribute it to? It is complicated, and your dermatologist may have to be as sharp as Sherlock Holmes or Hercule Poirot to pinpoint the culprit correctly. Now, a lot of allergies are self-limiting or gets cured on their own, and many are cyclical, which means that they appear as per the presence of allergens and are not present all the time. Now, if you go to an alternate medicine practitioner like a homeopath or an Ayurvedic doctor, and he or she gives you a no good placebo pill or medicine for that, and you get well, it would get attributed to that so-called medicine. In reality, however, their books don't teach them anything about identifying and curing allergies, as the people who wrote them did not have any idea about allergies in the days when they were written. So do not waste your time and energy on such quacks, and get your allergies, if you have any, treated using the right scientific methods. I hope you learned something new today about allergies. Now let me go, as my cats are allergic to me being away from them too long. Please comment if you have any strange allergies. Just make sure that they are not personal like the bride in my story. If you like the video, please share this with your family and friends. Until next time, this is me, Anand, saying bye-bye from Pale Blue Thoughts.